Hey, Nation, we're back for another quarterly check-in with Sachi Thompson over at Curvature. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for
Great.
having me.
No problem. And where are you located?
I'm located in Santa Barbara, California.
Oh, you're probably feeling some heat. Are
I
you?
we are. I feel like the whole country is what we definitely are for the first time this whole summer.
Yeah, we just broke our summer-long heat dome in Austin, Texas. We're into it, probably about 20 degrees cooler
Oh,
right now
nice.
than we were. So it's very pleasant. It's festival season. But that's not why we're here. We're here for the quarterly check-in for some updates on supply chain and what's Curvature up to. I'll just turn it over to you.
Yeah, no, Curvature, we're having a phenomenal year, mainly because of the supply chain issues, but also because of our new ownership with Park Place Technologies. It's been very positive for our brand, for both organizations. But we've been very busy continuing to supply the market with equipment that's been unavailable for about 14 months on average. And so we thought that by now we actually would have seen most of the network switching categories alleviated with the supply chain constraints. And unfortunately, we're predicting those now to carry forward through probably the middle towards Q3 of next year.
Oh,
It'll
no kidding.
continue to be
Because
constrained.
yeah, as a layperson, now, and I'm going to talk B2C, so it's not
Yeah.
so much B2B, but as a layperson, and having had some recent travel and driving around, the news cycle has moved on from ships setting outside California ports, right?
Hmm.
That was every night. And that news cycle has moved on to other things. The shelves I want to see getting stocked appear to be more stocked when I
Hmm.
go to the grocery store and so on. So I thought it's over, and I'm being a little facetious, but I thought,
Yeah.
okay, we caught up.
Yeah, I think, it's an interesting time. In the last 17 months, you see a lot of constraint in every vertical of the space, down to, straws and cups or syrups at your favorite coffee shop. Those things have normalized significantly. However, there's still stock out. What we're seeing just in the infrastructure that we sell and the product categories that we sell on to our customers, we're still seeing the networking space constrained. And that's due to bigger things. That's noble gas issues, microchip and semiconductor constraints that, as you know, are global and continuing on, and still a real issue. And so that's really where those categories have been hit most. Mostly the server areas have picked up a little bit. Their stockouts are about 60 days, 75 days. Candidly, nothing as bad as what we saw in our larger networking providers. We're getting customers quoted 400-day lead times. A lot of them are not even giving days anymore. They're just saying sometime next year. And so for us, it really is a nice spot for us to sit in because we have ample stock to be able to provide equipment to our customers during this interesting time.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thought I had is, the what's now kind of become an ongoing, I'm going to call it a debate. Are we in a recession? Are we not in a recession? Are we headed to a labor strong? Rates are high.
Yeah.
This is a tricky one, right?
Yeah.
This doesn't have all the markers of, the first three rodeos I went through
Yeah.
with recessions. Any thoughts on that?
Happy to comment on that. So fortunately, being with this brand for 16 years now, we've weathered through, the 07, 08 recession. We did really well, right? We're a value play. We deliver a service and an offering both on hardware and maintenance and managed services that is a value play for customers, small and large, who need to optimize their budgets, and still create that same connectivity, compute, uptime, availability without sacrificing their environments, but they have a serious economic pressure before them to quickly find solutions for. Interestingly enough, in this last 14 months, where we've really seen our business pick up almost 70%, just to give you some
Wow.
perspective of how
Yeah,
busy we are
I'll
in the
trade you.
hardware space, we've been very, very fortunate. But candidly, a lot of this growth has been due to being acquired by Park Place Technologies in 2020. It's just been a brilliant marriage of these two brands. We've done really well. And the offering to our clients is really so compelling that we take all the risk away of considering a secondary play with the maintenance and the services. And really, it's a nice offering that rivals the OEM. And so really, it becomes a real view of cost. And so because we've been in this space for 36 years, we've weathered through, as you said, 3 good recessions. We do well. We have customers who come to us because naturally they've got to get a lot done with far less. The other interesting thing is that we have been able to see firsthand a lot of our client base who hasn't done well during the recession. Obviously, the airlines have rebounded significantly, but they were significantly hurt in 2020 and coming out of 2021. We see a lot of retailers, a lot of more e-commerce shifting those markets that way, rather than brick and mortar being a concern. One of our largest real estate portfolio brands who used to buy product from us consistently, we've now done a lot of take back and reapplication of their units and deploying them to other markets because, as you know, those are still very dark. There's still a hybrid notion of work from home and what that looks like in the commercial space. So going back to your question around the recession, we do well during those times. Our business is recession proof because of the value we offer.
No, I'm glad to hear that. I'm going to take that under advisement. I'm working with another publisher. Can't quite announce it, but we're looking at a one-day workshop called MSP Rescue, kind of along the lines of the popular show Bar Rescue that you see on TV.
Yeah.
And in my space, there's a lot of change going on with the smaller MSPs, right?
100%.
Do I merge? Yeah. Do I retire? Do I merge? Do I spin the hamster wheel faster? And so I do have an agenda space on counter-cyclical opportunities.
Yeah.
With the assumption being we're headed into either a light, moderate, or heavy recession.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But there will be opportunities if you reposition. So in fact, what we can do is when we talk to you in Q4, why don't we think in terms of forecast for 2023, right? We'll start to get that data. You've got your finger on the pulse, and we sure appreciate you, stopping by quarterly to, help us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us on. And I think we do provide a unique view because we represent the secondary market. We're global. The other thing we love too is that we just get to see things that are happening in North America that isn't happening in Europe and differently in Asia. And so that gives us some indicators that are pretty good predictors of how the future will look for both brands and then even consumers as well.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. All right. Over and out.
Bye-bye.